Do subscribe to Bookstream YouTube channel to receive latest updates on this audiobook. Click the bell icon to receive updates on book reviews. No More, No Less. Author Sandesh Shanmugam. Chapter 3. Human Mind. The questioning tendency made us who we are and made us unique from the rest of the herd. The reasoning of the self is vital for our species to live, survive and reproduce. Thoughts and action gives us unique recognition in our own group called society. The power of the mind is beyond any comparison with that of the known world. Ideas and its creation, which when work together can create amazing inventions, which leads to various discoveries of the unknown phenomena. Mind is a biophysiological engine for recognizing the pattern and comparing the cluster of data which is already recorded onto the unconscious self. It is the power of the mind to create amazing artwork, to musical notes, to solvable complex equations. Power of the mind is mentioned and discussed by various philosophers, scientists, engineers, artists and many individuals. The achievement of any such people makes one to think about their lifestyle, environment, of their insight in finding out the very essence of that magical finding. When used in a wiser way, the human mind is capable of creating extraordinary works of one's imagination. Even it is capable of creating something from nothing. The power of imagination is also a gift which is rarely understood in the rest of the species. How this species got its excellent intellectual to think and act, well, we have to see the progeny. An individual child under the healthy, interactive environment and years of nourishment can outperform any other species of its age group. The creative works are represented in the form of art and crafts. Before understanding the real world, a child is capable of doing almost anything through its mind. The power of thinking and the ability to connect the patterns through mere abstract ideas is a huge milestone when compared to that of a grown-up. The visualization, identification of the texture, odor and taste will form complex connections in the brain, which is still impossible for any artificial intelligent machine. The subjective form from the objective is nothing but the mind. It is a part of evolutionary process wherein one species raced against time, not in physical shape but in intrinsic psychological state. It is a proud moment for all the fellow Homo sapiens. That's what we call ourselves proudly. That we are able to understand, empathize, learn, evolve, reproduce based on the extrinsic nature. There are many philosophers who are involved themselves in knowing about the concepts such as free will. The action inside oneself is triggered by the biochemical reactions, but we are more involved in the reactionary process. The works of those individuals are represented through amazing work. These individuals share a common gene from generations to generations. When tapped in the right moment, nurtured and nourished by the environment, results in amazing creations. This is what the famous cell biologist Dr. Bruce H. Lipton called as epigenetics in his famous book Biology of Belief. The long stored unconscious memory will reproduce amazing fictional to the factual worlds. The literary minds have filled it through their works by the mere power of language. Geniuses like William Shakespeare, William Wordsworth, Sylvia Plath, Lord Byron, sci-fi writers like Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury to the recent Andy Weir will take us to the amazing blended worlds just through words. Even painters and artists like Vincent van Gogh, Salvador Dali, Leonardo da Vinci and musical brands and bands like the Beatles, U2, Linkin Park and many others ignite the chemical process of action, reaction and sometimes emotions too. The words when mixed with the music will get easily registered onto our minds and are capable of receiving with any extrinsic stimuli. Even while listening to the same will untap our reserves and links the emotion and moment of an individual. Human psyche is still mysterious, and many try to follow it, with very few being able to understand the same through mystical theories. Even the process of learning a new language involves one to tap the existing language and sometimes predict its right meaning. Creation to presentation of the abstract ideas in the form of mathematical equation is another story to mention about. One can easily understand those complex squiggles through some guide and recursive practice. Just like a baby who is able to understand how to place its first step, we as humans are trying to present the same through our area of interest. Through constant effort, failures and hard work, we will succeed in any stream. But without the control, dedication and coordination of the self, it will be very difficult to work the way out. The awareness of one's mind is also a matter to consider. Sometimes we ourselves will get exhausted due to constant workload or never-ending questions. In those scenarios, the human mind is capable to colonize itself. Through colonies, we learn to ignite fire from the dry leaves, kept stocks of raw meat to survive in winter, learned to build a self-sufficient technology for living through a process of agriculture, started to harness the energy through fossil fuels and built sails and steamers for exploring alien lands, collected artifacts, spices, rare gems through trade and commerce, built complex structures and monuments, recorded the law and order on stones and papyrus for the next generations. Human mind is capable of predicting the future through the actions of the past and the present. This made the species to rule the planet through the reactions from the learned actions. The art of mimicking, dancing, singing and acting is another gift of the mind. Through this art form, the species will spend the time in entertaining others and makes a living. There are indeed many to mention. The curiosity in learning itself is of great achievement. A boon to this known planet is the powers to learn, act and preserve these, the very quintessence of one's survival through the process known as evolution. The power of one idea can outperform and overperform any law, rule of any place. An idea can change the world, so it can change the mind and thinking of others. Hence, concluding this chapter through a famous one-liner mentioned by the great philosopher René Descartes. In his time, he states that, "I am thinking, therefore I exist." Thank you for listening to this audio recording. Do subscribe to Bookstream YouTube channel to receive latest updates on this audiobook. Click the bell icon to receive updates on other book reviews.